these functions, except for one when Jeannie got cancer, and then so I was like feeling, oh, I gotta go. So I called Jane, like if I could just, I'll take care of Jeannie, but if I fly there Saturday, then I can fly back. And then Jane, in her wise, voice, said, you stay right there with your wife. And I said, okay, sounds good, I will. Like I talked about yesterday, it's amazing how these type of events can really blow you away, can impact you, and can do things for you, but you have to kind of come in expecting to get what you need. I've always taught my group, before you come here, ask yourself the questions that you're looking for, and you're going to get it. And that's what I did last year. I said to myself, the question was, why aren't you the badass that you've always been? What did you forget about how you were? And sometimes when you get old, this is how I can vouch for that, is I tell you what, man, when you get older, there's just certain things that isn't as easy when you're 39. Or when I got into the Amway business, I was 20s, 39, 91. So I was like 31. So I was just a little bit over that, that dude right there. But I had a huge dream and I had a huge goal, and but I pretended like last year I was that guy. Like I wasn't encumbered by the crap in the past. It's like, what if I just went there like I was brand new? And I did. Thank the Lord. And I prayed a lot about it before. It's like, Lord, talk to me. You're going to speak to me. God doesn't speak to you. You're waiting, right, Mitch? You're waiting for him to have this big voice, right? Like Morgan Freeman. It's like, I'm waiting for Morgan Freeman. Where is he when I need him to tell me what I need to do? God speaks, David, through other people. He speaks through the people that he put in your care.
That's right.
Sometimes people are wondering, like I know last year, what's my legacy? What is my why? What is my, and some of you like go through this, you're sitting, in church and going, Lord, tell me what my life is going to mean. Lord, tell me what I'm going to do. Tell me. And you know what? God doesn't just say, okay, you are going to be this great insurance agency manager and you're going to impact lives and they're going to get to heaven, because he doesn't say that. When I make my prayer now, I don't ask for that sudden revelation, because if you go into church for that sudden revelation, you're going to be disappointed, because God doesn't do that. Go in, just like we tell our youngins that come into the business, ask God, Lord, what do I need to do next? Lord, what do I need to do now? That's a much simpler question. And he'll answer that. Because you're going to call from an agent and say, Alex, okay, man, I was scared to call you, but this is my issue. Oh, thank you for calling me. God speaks to that person, right? He speaks to that person. So, again, it impacted me in just ways that I'm going to lay out. So, yeah, I kind of lied. I thought it was going to be at 10 a.m. But you got here, didn't you? Okay, so I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go quickly. They say that 1 out of 3 people are ever going to really get a talk and do something about it. So tell the person next to you, sorry, it's not you. Okay?
Sorry, man.
And if you're sitting next to your spouse, turn to them with loving eyes and tell them, aren't you lucky you married me? Because Because I got my ass down here in this room. Get fired up about that. Anyway. Moist donkey kitty cat. Just kidding. Okay. Connecting the dots. What do we do? Okay. Yeah, I didn't say nothing. And they have, no, I won't say that. Okay, so going back to the three things. I mean, it's just simple. Remember, this business is very simple. I'm not going to try to make it complicated, but what I'm going to try to give you today is thought process. Because the thought process is so important to inform what you do. Because what you think will inform what you do, right? You got to change. I changed the way I thought. And I worked on me. Do you know that it is more important to be than to do? Because what you do is from what you are and who you are. So you got to work on you. So I worked on me. The other part about working on me is I worked on my intellect. I'm never smart enough. I never have learned everything I can learn. How can I get outside myself and learn what I need to do to make this business work? And then I took massive action. Like, I think it was, I forgot who said this. What's the most I can do with the time I have to do this business with? It's not, okay, I'll just do a little bit and then let's see what happens. Okay, let me do a little bit more and see what happens. It was like, man, I'm going 100% all in, like really all in. So I took massive action. So let's kind of explore that. All right. The way to get started is quit talking, begin doing. That's really kind of the point of last night, right? You know, I said it, I'll say it more kindly now, but plus I'm on Benadryl. So you got the more Benadryl, Alex, and not the insane. Thank God I didn't talk to Guterman before this talk, right? Because I talked to Guterman and he just kind of jacked me up. So you can blame Guterman for last night. Okay, I got my mind right with God. Yeah, you know what? If you don't have God in your life, I can't help you. You know, because you're going to continue to struggle with where you're going and what you're doing. You're not going to know why you do what you do, and you don't know how to handle, you won't know how to handle what happens to you. Because if you don't have God in your life, thank God I have God in my life. Now, God is a relationship, isn't it? So if you kind of go to your spouse, if you go to Venus, say, hey, Venus, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need. Please get me what I need, and then you take off. Not a very good marriage relationship, is it? Now you go to Venus and, hey honey, how you doing? You stop and you listen. A relationship is a constant conversation with the person you love. You never end that communication. And that's what I realized. I'm not talking enough to God. I haven't worked enough on my spiritual life. I haven't focused on that because I was so focused on making money and focused on building this business that I didn't take time. Because here's what's crazy is the more time I spent with God in the morning, the more time He gave me just to do my mission. It's weird how that happens. I didn't blow it off. I created a discipline in my spiritual life that kept me on track. And what's crazy is the more I was on track spiritually, the more my business got on track. It was insane. Like, Lord, thank you. And I'm always grateful. I talked about the control thing last night. And, wanting to be in control, and Andy knows this because he's a control freak like me. We had a lot of similar things that just drive each other crazy, I know. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. When you are frustrated, it's because you aren't doing what God wants you to do, right? It's amazing how that is, but then when you do what He wants you to do, wow, it's awesome. It might be hard, but it's awesome. Here's another one. Proverbs 16:3-4. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. All you got to do is follow it. So I worked on that, man. Because how can my agents depend on someone who doesn't care about his relationship with God? How can they trust you? Right? They say that a wife should be submissive to a husband. But should she be submissive to a husband that's not in line with Christ? Because what did Christ do? He gave his life. So what does a husband do? He follows what Christ told him to do. Then he deserves to have his wife be submissive. Because he'd give his life for her. See, there's this thing that works, that's biblical. Does that make sense? Yes. Tell you what, man, it's I increased my prayer life, which increased my service to my agents. This is the way I kind of coupled it. My prayer life and having conversations with God several times during the day helped me service my agents with the right attitude and the right heart. My life became a love letter to those that God put before me. Love letter. See, Saint Teresa of Lisieux, they call her the little way. And she said, I can't be like these other saints who do these heroic things. All I can do is do the little things with love. The thing that made a big difference in my life and in my business is that everything I do for my team is done out of love. It's not done out of, I'm going to make money off this guy. I've got a 30% override on this guy. I'm going to get him some leads. It's out of love. I don't know if you do this. Maybe you do. This is what I've started to do. Was after every time I got off the phone with an agent, I would say a prayer for them. I'd say, Lord, I hope they took what you told me to tell them to heart. Please let that grow in them. Whatever they were needing, whatever struggles, I prayed for them. That kept me in conversation with God so I could help them. Does that make sense? My life is not my own. My time is what God gave me on this earth to give to other people. And what's weird is the more I gave myself away, the more He blessed me. You don't think I've been recruiting all this time? I've been recruiting all this time. Well, what happened was I created this spiritual foundation. It was a rock that the Lord could depend on, that when He put people in my path, they would flourish with me. I was the fertile ground for those seeds to come in my agency to grow. Now, look, if you don't believe, all that spiritual stuff, well, then I feel sorry for you, number one. Because, truth is truth. Gravity is gravity. You don't have to believe in it, but jump out of that balcony up here in this hotel. And see, that's what I let go and let God. That's a funny thing when we always say that. It sounds like a cliche, but you know what? It works for me. Here's the thing about that, is that it creates a stress-free, really a stress-free life. Because everything that happens to me doesn't matter. It's how I react to it. Yeah. We hear that all the time. If I'm late to an appointment, in my mind I'm thinking, well, if I left on time, maybe I get T-boned by a Mack truck. Like everything that happens to me, I'm going to pretend, not really pretend, that God is directing my life because I gave it to Him. I said, Lord, here's my life. Do with it what you will, because I am the willing servant. Right. And anything that happens to me, good or bad, happens. And I'm thankful that the Lord put me in a situation to either learn from it because it was tough, or something that I can endure so I can give it to someone else. Does that make sense? I spent a lot more time on this than I wanted to, but I think it's really, for me, was the foundation. You gotta, when you build a house, you gotta start with the foundation. The foundation is you. You are the foundation of your business. You want explosive growth. God won't bless you with explosive growth unless He knows that your foundation is sound. I never found these big producers. I always prayed, Lord, give me a big producer. He never did. It's kind of like praying for patience. God doesn't give you patience. He gives the opportunity to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, give me courage. He doesn't give you courage. He gives the opportunity to be courageous.
He does. Yes, He does.
Lord, I want my family and my group to be tighter and more unified. Guess what? He's going to give you the people, but are you ready to help them and get them into the alliance culture? Get them into this properly, the right part. He'll give you those opportunities. Okay, what do I do to work on my intellect? You know, I looked for insights in other businesses. And here's the thing, a long time ago with Mike, I really picked this up from Mike a long time ago. Mike started networking in a group of business people in Louisville. And I thought, wow, you know, in the Amway business, when we're in the Amway business, that's like cross-lining with another business. Maybe they're going to steal him. You know, I had this kind of real, but Mike was the first one in our team that kind of thought, you know what, I'm going to get other perspectives. And his business grew as a result. Remember that, dude? And it hit me. It's like, you know what, I've been doing the same thing over and over, doing the same thing over and over. What I need to change it. So I looked at other business professionals and other businesses and other seminars and coaches, and it gave me a totally different view of my business that I changed. Like then I go back to my business and insurance, and it's like, whoa! I looked at it differently. I changed my thought process on how I was building my business, and it was huge. So I invested in myself, gave me other perspectives. So here are some of the perspectives that just totally blew me away. Like building my business as an asset. I'm going to go into that, and I think hopefully you'll understand it.
That's good stuff.
Building my business with a focus on buying my life back. You know, we try to recruit because if you think we just want, we're going to build our business to make more money. It's like, how's that been working out for you? I saw the recruiting numbers. It's not working out very good, is it? The other one is you don't rise to the level of your goals. Every loser and every winner has lofty goals. You think just because I set my goals this high, I'm going to get them. Well, last year at Breakthrough, you set goals in your affirmation cards, didn't you? But you didn't hit them, did you? How did that work out? It's not the goals. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You settle to the level of your processes.
Come on now.
Right? The process you put in place. And so I learned from these other businesses that it's about the process. Like losing weight. Okay, I'm just going to stop eating for the next 12 hours and I'm going to lose weight. No, man, losing weight's a process. You got to change the way you think. Can't have pizza. But it's a process. It's not just pizza, it's carbs. I need to have less carbs. See, losing weight's a process. It's a lifestyle. That's all we're talking about here. This is not crazy complicated. Words mean nothing, action's the only thing. Doing, that's the only thing. I worked and took massive action. See, I had to change what I was doing. See, I was doing the same thing, just more of the same thing, but still not getting the results I was looking for. Right definition of insanity. The other thing we do is we changed our culture. I'm going to go into how we changed our culture. But our culture was just not defined. People didn't join me. I learned that people joined me because of my culture and who I am, not because the alliance was this great profitable thing. You know how many FFL agents that were at 110 contract that I hired?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
Come on.
Because they didn't have the culture, and the leader was not the leader that they needed to be for them.
That's right.
All the years that I was not the leader, how many people did the Lord send me? Lord, give me a big producer. I just sent you 5, bro. But you weren't ready to mentor them because you got your head up your butt. I changed my people. Man, don't lose to the same team twice.
That's right.
Come on.
You gotta find new people. Change my thought process. This is where everything started. Change my culture. Service to others is the rent we pay for room here on this earth. Muhammad Ali. I looked at my agents as the souls that need our help instead of statistics. See, remember when Terry showed the last thing? Here's the numbers that Avian did, and we got these percentages. Here's the problem with that mentality that I suffered is, I got my master's in economics, so everything was percentages. I knew that I'd put this many percentages in of numbers. I'd have 3% that were big producers, and then 7% that were good producers, and then 12% that were okay producers, and then 72% and below. The problem with that mentality, and I see the wisdom of not falling into the trap of statistics, is that you look at everyone like a statistic. When I hired them, it was like, I wonder if they're going to be the 72%. Instead of, I'm going to serve this person and they're going to determine what they are, not me, but I'm going to give them everything I got. Now, having said that, I didn't hire everyone that came across my way because there's some people that are going to waste their time with us, right? They can't be with us. They're not going to work out. But see, here's the thing with recruiting in large numbers is you have the choice. Some of y'all recruit 3 a month. You don't have a choice. You're trying to talk everybody into it, and then you have this thing that goes, well, every loser knows a winner. I've got 3 losers here, but I'm going to work my way in depth, so I'm going to squeeze that list out of them, and you're putting so much pressure on them, they give you the 3 worst people that they know because they want to get you off their back, right? You know what? Every winner knows a winner. So why not find winners and then find who they bring you? I got so sick of hiring the guy that is in charge of the fry station at McDonald's because I got more of the fry station people. No offense to anyone that's a fry station attendant here. Okay? But, so, you got to be smart, man. The other thing that we changed our culture is we surrounded them with support. Okay, we loved on them with different people in my staff. Here's the thing, man. You got to be careful who you hire. Sometimes you hold on to them too long, and they're not doing good for you. They're pissing people off, and you don't know it. Here's what I focused on, finding staff that believed in my mission, right? My mission is to serve people. My mission is to bring people closer to the Lord, closer to God's will for them. If I can get them aligned with God's will for them, then they got a shot of making it. And they might be great producers too. But my staff believes in it. And so when they talk to our agents, they believe with their whole heart that they're implementing my mission and my vision for them. We are attracting people of faith. We are attracting people of color. We are attracting young people because they know how to communicate my vision. They know me. We have a staff meeting every Monday at noon. And after the staff meeting, we pray. We pray for an awesome week. We pray that the Lord sends the right people to us, that we recognize them, and that we put everything we can to help them. Culture, man. People will join you for your culture and what you believe. They're not going to join you because you can give them a 90 contract or 85 contract and leads. It is way beyond that, man. If you're hiring it at that mentality, that level, you are so missing what you really can do in this world with this business. Okay? Anyway. I changed my people. I had this one staff person I had for years, and she was pretty good until she got old. Seriously, when she got old, she wasn't as good. And then I could tell she didn't love it anymore. Do you know statistically that people that don't love what they're doing and aren't passionate about what they're doing end up not being good at what they do? I found that when I was good at selling. I was really good at selling until, thank God I built a team, right? Because I wasn't passionate about it anymore, and I could tell my closing rates weren't good. So I just hired more people, and I was able to get out of the field. See that some of y'all hang on to selling until you get burned out. The problem is when you get burned out and don't feel like doing it, don't feel like booking, 20, 40 appointments a week, then you do it because you hate it, but you have to do it, and you don't have a team that's replacing you. And then you get frustrated. And then you try to hire, but you hire out of anxiety and struggle. You're trying to hire and put pressure on them. Man, that's no way to be. I had a staff based on buying my life back. I'll go into that. Made sure that they understood our culture and vision. Oh yeah, the other thing we did, because I have just a really sharp staff of people, we do the McDonald's handoff thing. So I've got a recruiter, so I replaced myself in recruiting. She's actually way better than me, if you can imagine. But I coached her hard, and she's better than me at identifying really good people. And then she takes them, and if they're super sharp, then she books an appointment with me. If they're okay, if they're not the highlight people, then she'll turn it over to our onboarding person who onboards them. And if they're licensed, then the onboarding person books an appointment with my sales mentor. It's the McDonald's process, except with agents. But imagine every one of those staff people love what they do, they love my mission, and every soul is someone that's put in front of them to take care of. It's not, I've got people working more than 40 hours a week. They're working 60 hours a week. Where do you get that? You get it from people that are invested in you. And when you have staff that looks at you and they're inspired by you, how can I not be the best I can be? See, you think it's your agents that will, man, it's staff, baby. Customers will never love a company until the employees love it first. Simon Sinek. You can change that to agents will never love a company until staff love it first. Do you know that when you're not talking to your agents, your staff is? So why are you hiring, the first person that walks through the door and you're not even listening to what they're doing when they're talking to your people? Oh my gosh. Well, Alex, I hired someone. Andy said you should hire someone. Oh, man. You're putting your checkbook in someone's hands and they're writing the check. You want them to do that? No, man. Change my thought process. Okay, I think I have time. The world as we created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Albert Einstein. Now look, this old guy takes more to change me. But it can be done because with the right motivation. So whether you're young or old, and Andy's right, it's harder when you're my age. It's easier when I was 30. It's harder now. But knowing that it's hard, it's not insurmountable. I don't care how old you are. You're probably motivated. The brain still functions, not as sharp, but it still functions. Here's something, man, that just, when I learned this, it was like the scales fell from my eyes. Building your business as an asset. I never looked at building the insurance business as an asset. What's an asset? Well, let's define it. I'll define it later. Most agents build their own insurance job. Come on, man. Seriously. If you're just selling, you own your own job. You don't have an asset. You own your own job. It's not a bad job. Gives you flexibility. There's a lot of benefits. But be clear on this. You own your own job. How do I know this? Alex, how do I double my income? How many appointments are you running? 20. Run 40. Woohoo! Fired up. What does that mean? Well, how many leads are you buying every week? Okay, double that. It's algebra. What happens on the left side happens on the right side, right? It's algebra.
Yeah.
But they're doing 40 appointments a week. Alex, how do I double my income? Why don't you run 80 appointments a week?
Yeah, right.
Brother, sister, you own your own job, man. It's not an asset. Not an asset. Sorry to tell you. But it's a great job. We love volume, okay? I want to override you, okay? But make no mistake. This applies to agency managers too, by the way. You're thinking, Alex, I'm making this override. Oh, really? You're making this override? If you're no longer the leader of your agency, are you still going to make that override? No. Some of y'all think, oh, I got this agency, and I'm getting all this override income, and I'm also selling. You got your own agency manager job. How do we know this? You guys know that you've been recruiting. You'll get someone you interview that's been an agent for 30 years, and they're going to tell you, right, Mike? Well, I had my own agency back in the day. Oh, how many people did you have in your agency? Well, I had 30 agents. We were rocking. Well, do you still have them? Oh, no, I don't have them. Why not? Because I got tired of babysitting. That's what happens. So they have their own agency manager job. It's still a job limited by 24 hours a day. An asset is a business that will grow without the founder being involved, that someone is willing to buy for multiples of the revenue. When you can grow your business as an asset that will continue to grow without you or very little of your involvement, you got an asset someone's willing to buy. What do you think Integrity's looking for? They're looking for assets. But Alex, I do, $30,000 a month in issue paid premium. Integrity's going to laugh at you and go, woo-hoo. We can find a whole bunch of people like that, right? Buy your life back. Don't hire to grow your business, hire to buy back your time. This really is based on the concept that what is your time worth? People think, I'm going to hire to grow my business, I'm going to hire staff, I'm going to hire agents, I'm going to grow my business. Well, if you're not growing it to buy your life back, to create time for yourself, how are you going to ever get out of the $15 an hour work, $20 an hour work, unless you have a thought process based on replacing yourself and buying your life back? It's all about time. Can we all agree that time is the most important resource?
Yes.
Then why aren't you building your business with this in mind? It's not about making the money. It is, but it isn't. It's about buying your life back so that you can make the money. Let me share this with you. There are 3 ways that you can make money. Okay? You could trade hours for dollars, right? You trade hours for dollars. Selling insurance, you're trading hours for dollars, aren't you?
Yep.
You're independent, woohoo, but you're still trading hours for dollars. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're trading dollars for time. You're trading dollars for time. And then when you've really made it, then you're trading dollars for dollars. That's what Andy Albright does, trading dollars for dollars. Some of y'all are not getting out of that first level into the second level. See, you can't personally outwork. See, I had this notion that if I book 30 interviews a week, I'm going to build my agency. And it didn't work. I couldn't outwork myself to build my group. I thought that just the GSD, I had the get shit done attitude, And I thought just by sheer working and activity that was going to make it happen. The problem was I didn't know how to direct that activity and why. See, there's only 24 hours in a day. Eventually, you're going to break down. You're going to break down. How do we know? Some top managers get sick and tired of what they're doing. Their business goes backwards. Why? Because they're sick of hiring agents that don't perform. They're sick of chargebacks. They're sick. They get sick and tired. They might be making a lot of money. They're just tired of it. They get out of the business. You know, why do you get out? Because the business owned them and they couldn't see any way out because they had the wrong thought process on how to build a business as an asset and how to build a business to buy your life back. You only have 24 hours in a day. So here's a concept that will kind of give you a framework to buy your life back. And it's a simple concept. It's called the buyback loop. When you grind, you're eventually going to hit this pain line. So, producers, checking, pending. What a pain in the ass.
Amen.
Checking, pending, and trying to push policies through. You're going to get so sick and tired of it, right? You hit the pain line. And then sometimes, like the example agency manager, they don't know how to work themselves out of being a manager. They don't become a leader. They're still in the management side of the business. And then they self-sabotage the business where the business will go backwards because they're so sick and tired of what they're doing. Here's what you do. You hit the pain line. So sick and tired of doing pending, right? You have to embrace a new mindset or else it's going to kill you. So you got to think, okay, I got to change something. The buyback loop occurs as you continually audit your time to determine your low-value tasks that are sucking your energy. Then you transfer those tasks to someone who's better at them and enjoys them. And then you'll fill your time with higher-value tasks. Very simple concept. So, you're sick and tired of doing pending. What tasks do I hate doing that are easy and inexpensive to offer to someone else? I need to hire someone to do my pending. Then you transfer it to them. Here, manage my pending. This is how you do it. So who do I have on my team or who can I hire even part-time to take this over? And this is the fun part, the fill part. You fill it with tasks that you can focus on, that you love doing, that can immediately bring more money to the company. So let's say you spend an hour or two a day trying to push policies through and doing pending. Guess what? You got 10 hours of your life back. For not very much money, but you bought 10 hours of your life back. So what can you do with those 10 hours? You could sell more, or you could recruit more, or you could talk to agents more, you could build relationships more, you could build depth more. There's more that you can do. And this is a continuous process. So you got pending done. What's the next thing? What's the next thing that's a pain in the ass? What's the next thing? You're going to get to the point, some of you, not all of you, are getting to the point where I'm just so sick of doing 40 appointments a week. So sick and tired of being sick and tired of doing 40 appointments a week. Hopefully, that pain, you anticipated it. How do I replace myself in the field? Hire agents. But you don't hire agents to grow your business. You hire agents to buy your time back. Let's say you're spending 40 hours a week in the field, but if you hire enough agents where they replaced your 40-hour-a-week job, guess what? You got 40 hours a week to kick some ass recruiting and building and getting your life back. Here's another example. How many of y'all are doing interview after interview after interview after interview after interview? Well, Alex, I said to recruits, I gotta do the interviews. No, you don't. Find someone who can do the interviews for you. Here's the thing. 80% of someone doing what you're doing is 100% of you not doing it. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I can get someone to interview that's only 80% as good as me. Well, now my ego says, I am the almighty Alex Avian who will recruit anybody into anything. Well, that gets old after you do like 20, 30 a week, and knowing that the GSD mode isn't working until I can find someone to recruit for me. You know, When I hired Mary, who's a better recruiter than me, I got about 30 hours back. Now, what can you do with 30 hours? You can build relationships. You can build depth. You can get lists. You can spend time with the people that deserve your time. And then you start the process over again. So you continue this loop until you're replacing yourself, so you can do the most valuable things that you can do. Excuses. I don't have the time. Oh my gosh. That's the reason you're doing it, to get the time, to replace yourself. I can't afford the help. Oh, I'm going to show you, I might get to it, I don't know. No one's as good at work as I am. Here are all the excuses why you should stay doing what you're doing, get burned out, and quit the business. These are all the reasons why you should just keep doing what you're doing. The excuses. Y'all have them. Well, I'm the best at it. Oh my gosh, that'll kill you. The reasons. Winners and losers have the same goals. You not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Man, your systems are going to create your power business. If you duplicate those systems and document them through video and procedures, it's just like what they do in corporate world. You bring it here, man, and it's working every time. If one of your staff dies, here are my videos, this is how you do things. And then you coach them, but you're not having to spend all that time. The videos teach them. You see the power of creating processes that are duplicatable? Again, 80% of someone else doing the thing is 100% of you not doing the thing. So the drip matrix. So let me cover this real quick. Science proves that people that aren't passionate about what they do, they suck at what they do. They perform better with things that they enjoy and that they love and they're passionate about. My staff loves doing what they're doing. Praise the Lord. They go beyond the hours. So I reward them. I don't want to lose them. Higher performance leads to higher pay. So what this does is it'll tell you and inform you how to do the things that make you the most money. Every task you perform sits on one of these two axes. So let me explain this. This is the y-axis, making money. The things you do to make the least money to the things you do to make the most money. And then this on the x-axis, the things that light you up, like things that suck the energy out of you to things that light you up, okay? So this first quadrant, called the delegation quadrant, these are menial tasks that suck your energy. Admin work, travel arrangements. I guarantee you Stephen Davies, Andy Albright, they don't book their travel. They got people to do it for them. Responding to emails. Yes, you could hire someone to respond to your emails. Yes, that's true. And so what you need to do in this phase, you all know, you're doing these things that are sucking the energy out of you, that's costing you money. Why aren't you getting rid of them? You got to get rid of them. That's going to free up time for you to do the most important things. The replacement is where it sucks the life out of you, but you make the most money doing it. Highest value, but suck energy. You need to get rid of these. Booking your appointments. What I say? 80% of you is better than 100% of you doing it. How long do you spend booking appointments? Find a good appointment setter. That's what I did back in the day. And she made my life so much easier, but I coached the crap out of her. Okay? I'm not just going to turn my business over. I did booking while she was doing booking, and then I found out she was better than me. Imagine how much time I got back just with that move. Investment. These are things that light you up but don't make you money. This is like working out, physical activity, time with your friends and family, hobbies. You need to do these things too, because you need to refresh yourself. You need to recreate yourself. You need to do the things that light you up, not necessarily making money, but you need to know when to do it and why you're doing it. Then finally, this is where you want to be, production. Man, these are the things that light you up and make you the most money. See, Andy lives here. Andy loves traveling. and he gets on his plane. He gets energy by inspiring another young person that wants to do this thing. I just look at Andy, and this is how he lives his life. He has other people doing all this other crap, but he's doing makes him the most money. What are you doing? You are probably, a lot of you are right here. And then here, don't wait to be burned out. Know that it's going to come, right? And you also need to do that, but you need to live in the production mode. Everything you can do, if I was going to do a workshop, I'd say, look, let's take 10 minutes. Let's group in 5 people each, and then write down all the things that you could hire out to someone. One of the most important things you do right now, because that just bought your life back. Okay, buyback rate. This is how you can quantify. One thing, it's one thing to say, you gotta hire a secretary. But for me, I needed, for all you beavers out there, you're gonna love this. Get fired up, beavers. This will jack you up, baby. Bring it. What's your buyback rate? No one should be performing a work task that they could outsource for a quarter of their current effective hourly rate. So the next question you should ask is, what's my hourly rate, Alex? Simple. Take your pre-tax income divided by 2,000 hours divided by 4. Okay, so for example, if you're making 100 grand a year pre-tax divided by 2,000 hours, but Alex, I work 3,000 hours. Shut up. Just divide it by 2,000. Because I know most of y'all aren't working 3,000 hours a year. Really, it's more like 1,000. Come on, give me a break. So you make 100,000 divided by 2,000 divided by 4, your buyback rate is $12.50 an hour. So what that says is, I need to hire someone that can do my paying for $12.50 an hour. But see what you're doing? Is you're offloading that takes a quarter of your income so you can do the things that make you more money. Do you see what happens? And then that time that makes you more money will make you more money. Then when you start making 200 grand a year, your buyback rate is 24 bucks an hour. So now you can hire an awesome staff that can onboard people, that can recruit people for you. Then you're doing the most important, valuable things in your life. Do you see how you start leveraging and leveraging and leveraging? You start thinking like this, man, your business is going to be blown away. So the massive action. So this is the part that you probably don't want to hear. We create a recruiting machine. So you can ask me a bunch of questions. Well, do you use ZipRecruiter? Do you use Indeed? We do everything. Everything. Now I have to say about Indeed, we got all our young people from Indeed. Some of our top producers came from our Indeed. And we hired another company to be the go-between, because for some reason Indeed doesn't like us. The Alliance, for some reason, I don't know what it is. They think we're a multi-level. So I hired a proxy company to do ads for me. And we're doing like 3 seminars a week at 12 to 12:30, where my recruiter plays a video of me doing the business overview. It's so cool. I used to do those myself. And I go, man, these were a half hour long, that's an hour and a half. Let's just have her play the video. My video rocks, because it's bringing the right people in, young people, oh my gosh. But that's just one of the ways we do it. We spend a lot of money in recruiting. Why? I override my width by 25, 30, actually it's more like 30 to 35%. Can you imagine doing 250,000 outside your biggest leg, and you're overriding that 30 to 35%. It's pretty good, huh? Alex, I'm not at your commission rate level yet. Well, then get there. Well, how do I do it? I just told you. Get a clue. Massive recruiting. Massive recruiting. I talked about it last night. Massive recruiting. Back in the day, and I know you hate hearing that, we had people, when we had badasses building their business because they believed in the Alliance, we're doing 200, 150, 175 recruits a year. Jared, thank you for making me look at the recruiting leaderboard. Because I never check leaderboards for that stuff. It's like I'm building my business. I know what I need to do. And he says, Alex, I'm coming after you. I go, okay. but you're so far ahead, okay? So I check the leaderboard, I go, oh my God. See, the problem was, I looked at it as if I was Andy Albright, and my heart sank. It's like, holy crap, this is pathetic. What about people doing? Don't they believe in the alliance? Don't they believe in what we're doing? I do. Jason and Olga do. Jared and Rachel do. I love your tats, by the way. They rock. Anyway. We also did this. Our staff rocks. We have this process down, baby. We're getting them started, but we're surrounding them with love and support, right? So that they feel like they can win. How many of you are looking at, okay, here's some leads, and let's see if you can sell. Now, here's some leads. Call us when you can't book an appointment after 3 contacts. Give us a call. Let's call them back. Let's surround them with love and support. That's what we said in our culture. That's what we promised them in my video. You know how many people say to me, they go, God, you know what? You guys are different. I go, why? Well, what you said in that video, it blew me away because no one ever talked to me like that. Wow. How sad state of affairs out there in the world of insurance where people don't talk to them like they give a crap about. We're different. We decided the Avian Financial Group is going to be different. We're going to surround them with love and support. And if they quit, it's not because of us. It just wasn't the right time. God had something else for them. I invested in IT and CRM. So I just went berserk. You know, like the AI thing. You know what? It's coming. It's already here. Why are you like putting your head in the sand pretending like it isn't? So I'm looking at systems, looking at how to make my agents' lives better. How can I invest more in helping their lives become better? Because I love them. I love them. And I'm closer, Jake, to the end than I am to the beginning. I'll be 63 in October. I'm closer to the end. How can I bring more people to the party? Because the Lord's going to say, hey, Bo, you know, it's awesome you're here, but who else did you bring with you?
Awesome.
Every person that comes to our agency is someone that I can put on the right path of God's will for them. If I can get them on that right path some way, some little thing that I said, mentoring them, taking care of their belly, feeding their family, then they got a shot to listen to why my life is joyful. Because my joyfulness comes from the Lord. That's my joy, and that's why people are attracted to me. Because my joy is serving them because the Lord wants me to serve them. Does that make sense? We aren't holding back. Every dollar we're making, we're investing in. I'm not buying stuff. Okay, maybe I'll buy a guitar. But it's for my praise and worship band, okay? So it's for the Lord. And I can write it off. I can write it off, baby. Thanks, everybody. I hope this made sense to you. All right?